And for music, your mom was playing like Staying in the House really early on, right?
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. This is like, and how do you know that? Like, I thought I was gonna do fucking finance.
What?
Which is like not.
Is it your mom pressuring you?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And like, I feel like people's parents shouldn't pressure their kids to go into school because they'll go to school and do some shit that they don't want to do. I feel like me and Joey, we became closer through music and just like traveling together. You know what I'm saying? And Vic has always been there to kind of guide in the sense of like he's been doing this shit for a minute. There's Nigerian movies and them shits are like, they're so like low budget. Like it'll be crazy. It's like a low budget ass like shot on a DSLR camera type shit. But then they'll just like dub some Michael Jackson in there. It's like, you know, they didn't clear no fucking Michael Jackson. But it's an official release. Like it's crazy.
Today I'm here with Kami.
Kami. You dig?
So you were born in Chicago, was it?
Yeah. Southside Chicago.
How much time did you spend there before like going back to like Ghana for a bit?
How did you know that? Hey. It's like the Narwhal.
It will be.
I spent like, I think my grandma came and got me when I was like 3. And
oh,
she
pretty young.
Mm-hmm. And she took me back there, and I stayed till I was like 6. So it was like what'd you call them? The developmental stages of my life.
Yeah.
I kind of spent in Ghana, so it was
cool. Do you still remember a lot of your childhood back there? Or
yeah.
Kind of thing?
No, I definitely remember, because I went back recently, when I was like 17, and everything was like the same. So I was like, damn, I remember that shit. Like,
yeah.
Cool.
So all of your like mom's side is still there, or like she moved here by herself?
She moved here by herself. She left. I think she left when she was 16, and she lived in London for a while.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then she came over from London, and I guess like her side of the family is there. That's really the only family that I know.
Yeah. And what was her career when you were growing up, like your mom?
She's a fashion designer.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So, like, she definitely is always, like, been pro me being flea. So,
yeah.
So it's, like, cool to have a mom who does, like, clothes and shit.
What is her and your grandma's personalities like?
My grandma, my mom's, like, super by the book. Like super straight. I guess my grandma is too, but my grandma she like gives me a little bit more leeway. But she's like super religious. My grandmother.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like over the top religious. Like reads the Bible her daily routine consists of drinking water, reading the Bible.
Oh my God.
It's like crazy. And
like,
you know what I'm saying? But my mom just like, she's just a strong woman. So like she just has a lot of values that she doesn't shift on, you know what I'm saying? Because she had to raise me kind of by herself at one point until my stepfather came in. But she just has been through a lot, so she's like sticks to what she knows.
Yeah. Are you kind of similar to that, like 6'5"?
No.
I
have tattoos on my neck. Like, I'm not similar to my mom in that respect at all. But I mean, she's definitely rubbed off on me in the sense of like, the things that are important to you, you got to take seriously. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to actually put 100% into things that you want to achieve. You know, you can't half-step it.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
Was it difficult for you, like for your dad being in jail for like 20 years or something? Or
I mean, at first, when you're a child, it's like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be normal, or what you're told to be normal. And that's like having a mom, a dad, you know what I'm saying, like go to school type shit. And when you don't have that, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, kind of fucks with your mental stability. But then you grow up and you realize like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, I mean, it's cool. Like, I'm not really to anything about it. It's just like a fact of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He did some shit he shouldn't have been doing when he had a child. And it's cool.
And for music, your mom was playing like Sting in the house really early on, right?
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. This is like, and how do you know that? Like, yeah, no, she definitely had like an English taste in music. So she was listening to shit like Sting. I know her favorite shit is like Michael Bublé.
Oh, really?
Like some whole other shit. And I was just like around that shit. So I kind of just, by nature, just was exposed to just different music. You know what I'm saying? So, and then like, you know what I'm saying? Like Ghanaian music and shit like that. So it was like, I always had a weird take on music. Like hip hop wasn't necessarily the first type of music that was just like that. But it was the music that I think I gravitated to the most.
Do you remember the first record you bought?
Definitely the Outkast record.
Oh.
With Miss Jackson on it.
Yeah.
Stank on it. Is that Stank on it? Whatever record has Miss Jackson. I'm so petty for not knowing off the top of my head what record that is, but with Miss Jackson, because I remember when Miss Jackson came out, I wouldn't stop singing it. They were like so mad. It was that song, and you remember that song? What's that shit? I'm blue, I'm a Dina, I'm a Dina.
Oh yeah,
that shit.
So
it all
good.
came out like
it's still so catchy.
Yeah, it's like what the
fuck?
fuck?
It's such a catchy song. How would you describe yourself back then, growing up?
As a child?
Yeah.
Very curious. I wanted to know everything, and I thought I knew everything because I wanted to know everything. So, yeah.
Were you into school?
Initially, like, when I was young, definitely. I always, like, when I was a shorty, like, super excelled at school, so I think it kind of made me lazy when I got older, you know.
Did your mom push you academically?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my mom currently wants me to be a doctor, lawyer,
Still?
engineer. Like, I'm like, Mom,
God.
it's pretty cooked at this point, but yeah, like, it's cool though.
What were your, like, favorite subjects in school?
I liked my creative writing class. I really liked that. Really, I gravitated towards classes with good teachers. And I remember that class had a great teacher, Mr. Resac.
Oh, you remember it?
I remember his name.
Oh.
And then my social studies class was cool. And even my teacher, Mr. Cash, from physics.
Oh, you remember everyone.
Yeah, like he was pretty
that.
cool. Yeah. Fuck with him. But I didn't really have a favorite subject though.
Were you like were your friends more like music friends or?
I mean, that's just how it turned out, cause like me, Vic, and Joey all went to the same high school.
Oh wow.
So we just ended up all choosing the same career path.
Were you like
cool.
in the same class or?
Yeah, I mean, like me and Joey had classes like sophomore, junior year. I don't think I ever really had a class with Vic, but we all hung out every day, so it was just like, it's cool that we all make music now, and it's like kind of successful for everybody.
It's so crazy. Did you three have like mentors when you were growing up, or people you look up to?
There was definitely people in all of our lives that kind of, you know, steered us and ushered us in the right direction. I don't know personally if I had a mentor, you know what I'm saying? I don't think like I would have called, because I would remember that, you know?
Yeah.
But I know that they did, so.
Were you already like in high school, were you putting out stuff under different alias or?
Well, right after high school, I started dropping shit under Kami de Chuckwu.
Yeah.
Because, like, Chukwu's part of my name. So, like, I don't know. But then, like, after we kind of tried to, like, start taking shit seriously, I wanted to, like, just make it simple for everybody. To, like, just get to the base of, like, who I was type shit. So I just dropped de Chuckwu and just started doing Kami.
What happened after high school?
What do you mean?
Like, do you start college or you just go straight into your career?
Nah, I went to college for 1 year and that shit was bunk. So don't die.
Let's go that way.
I went to college for 1 year. That shit was weak. So I left, and then I was around.
Were you like gonna study a certain major or?
I thought I was gonna do fucking finance.
What?
Which is like not.
Is it your mom pressuring you?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And like I feel like people's parents shouldn't pressure their kids to go into school because they'll go to school and do some shit that they don't want to do at all, and it's just like a waste of energy, time, money, all of that shit. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like.
So when you dropped out, were you at a certain place with your music career, or was it just still a hobby back then?
No, like when I think I put out my first song after I dropped out, so I wasn't anywhere. Like I was just writing raps at school.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, fuck this shit. I'm about to.
Were you
rap.
like, did you move back in with your mom, or like how are you sustaining yourself financially?
What, back then?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I came back home, had to move back, and then, you know what I'm saying, like, it was just, I mean, you have to find ways to sustain yourself financially, so, like, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then was like the Leather Corduroys, like, during that time period, was that way after? Or?
It wasn't way after, that was like a year. The Leather Corduroys thing was like, I think like a year and a half, 2 years after that period. And I don't know, it was like, I know optimistically all of us wanted to put out a tape. Like Joey was working on a tape, I was working on a tape. And then once those tapes dropped, we were like, yo, like, it makes sense since we're using the same studio all the time, let's just make a project together. And then it turned into that whole thing. So it was like, that was cool. I think it helped both of us evolve musically, but shit doesn't really last forever.
Yeah.
So
Where did that name come from?
it's completely random.
Oh.
It's like it might as well have been like out of a hat.
Yeah. And that was the same time as like season 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called? Porno Music Volume 2. Like porno music, and then there was season. So.
Yeah.
It was cool though. Like, I feel like we're probably gonna make another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like,
that'd be so sick.
Now that we're like where we're supposed to be, type shit.
And then, how are you getting your music out there initially?
SoundCloud. Simple, like SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That was like really the only avenue that I knew to get it out. So I was just using it.
Mm-hmm. What was the scene like in Chicago at that point?
It was like right before Chief Keef was a thing. So it was like, it was just ready to be like formed or whatever. There really wasn't a scene. You know what I'm saying? Like now, there's such a sound because of Cheno and like Vic and shit like that. So, but like at that point, I think that they wanted to separate like that type of style versus like what Keefing Them was doing over there, and it just was a divide. Now I think there's like a scene where we all kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? If you know them, you know them type shit. Like, it's cool though.
How has your relationship with Joey and Vic changed over time?
It really hasn't.
It hasn't?
I mean, I feel like me and Joey, we became closer through music and just like traveling together. You know what I'm saying? And Vic has always been there to kind of guide in the sense of like he's been doing this shit for a minute. So he just always would like kind of make his mistakes known and shit like that and just be like, this is probably what you should do because I've done it before, you know what I'm saying? So like, but based off of that, we'd make our own decisions.
And has movies, like films, been a huge part of your life since you were young?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everybody has like a favorite movie or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think I watched a lot of movies, Because like in Ghana there wasn't shit to do. So like watching movies was literally like some magical shit.
Like American or?
Yeah, American movies. Well, and then like it's funny, like there's Nigerian movies and them shits are like they're so like low budget. Like it'll be crazy. It's like a low budget ass like shot on a DSLR camera type shit. But then they'll just like dub some Michael Jackson in there. It's like, you know, they didn't clear no fucking Michael Jackson, but it's an official release. Like it's crazy. What up, doggy? It's crazy. Like,
oh, I love those. They're so
it's
funny.
like retarded.
Yeah. But then, was it more recently that it became a bigger part of your life with like all the music videos and your like songs coming out?
Yeah, definitely. Cause
was there like a turning point for that?
I started looking at the way things were shot and directed. Like, I think when I watched all Stanley Kubrick's movies, that's when I was like, damn, G, like, there's like a art past like what the story is to this shit. Like, I think I watched Eyes Wide Shut, and I was like, damn, yo, like, this is like such a crazy art form because you could use like. Because I feel like he's like super cool at visual storytelling, where it isn't necessarily like the plot that's driving the movie. It's like the characters, or you know what I'm saying, like certain visual cues, or just the way shit is shot. Like I was watching some shit on Alfred Hitchcock, and it was saying like the way he plots a scene. Like for instance, if the scene is like two people having a conversation, and one of them is standing versus one of them sitting or some shit, it's like the person who's standing just by default has like the upper, like, or has the power in the scene.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
There was a scene, it wasn't in Psycho, it was in Vertigo, where the guy's talking to him in his office and he's standing there, but he's lying to him, but he's standing. So like in the scene, you know what I'm saying, the way that the scene was plotted, you could tell like the guy was trying to assume power. But the scene shifts. Like it shifts because the guy catches him in his lie. So the other guy stands up, and like then the other guy sits down after he's done lying to him. So it was like, damn, G, like it's like obviously these characters don't know for 100% fact that one of them is lying and the other one is telling the truth type shit. But the audience, it's like crazy to look at. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic of that relationship.
I want to see that scene. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
But then you also like direct a lot, right, of your
I
videos?
mean with Andre, like you know what I'm saying, like he lets me fake direct, but like he's definitely taught me some shit about, you know what I'm saying, direction and shit like that.
And also coming up, you want to get more into fashion, right?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the cliche rapper thing to say.
I mean, but your
like,
mom was into it. It's like full circle, actually.
Yeah, like I feel like I have an obligation to do that shit.
In what way do you want to get into it?
I don't know. I just like to wear clothes.
Yeah.
Like nice clothes.
Like to design your own?
No, I don't want to ever design. I feel like I'm already investing a lot of energy into like the things that I want to do, like with music and art and film. Like I don't think that I've ever tried to design, so I don't want to disrespect anybody who's like put their whole life into it.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Just want to wear clothes. Just want to be free.
Yeah. And duality's always been like a big part of your music, or like different type of genres. Like you never want to be like boxed into one thing. Is that something like from the onset that you like made sure that you weren't like this type of rapper or like did this type of like hip hop music? Yeah,
like I just think that it's super cool when two things that aren't generally put together are put together and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we were shorties, I was super into mashups, like Hood Internet or Girl Talk or some shit like that. Just on some like trying to find different types of music. And I just remember it was like super cool hearing like Gold Panda mashed with Lil B or some shit. And I was like, damn, that's super ill. So I think it just kind of rubbed off on how I made music. It was like nothing is out of bounds, you know?
How do you think your music has changed since the early songs you made?
Oh, drastically. Like just, I don't know, like the subject matter of what you know what I'm saying, I was talking about back then has just changed because my life has changed and my truth is, like, shit is just different now. So, like, there's just different experiences that I've had now that I get to put into music than back then when it was like, I didn't even know how to put my experiences all the way into music. You know, I feel like truth is just important. Like, I try and tend not to write something that isn't, you know what I'm saying, in the vicinity of truth. Like, that's like my main focus right now. Whenever I make a song, it's like, did this happen? Did this happen, you know what I'm saying, this way, and I can just make it like a little bit more than it was, you know? Like, as long as it happened, like, I'll say.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges?
Money.
Yeah.
Straight up, money. Like,
That's
money
true.
is a big challenge. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like I've put myself in a position where I generally wouldn't have to have if it wasn't for money, like, so it's like, would have never got locked up if I didn't need some money. I would have never been in a jam if I didn't need some money, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, money is really, really a big challenge
Yeah.
for a lot of people, I guess.
What does success look like to you?
I think success is like when you get to set a goal, reach that goal, and then set another goal. Like, I feel like success is being able to reach your goals continuously. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. What does love mean to you?
What does love mean to me? I feel like it's unconditional. I feel like you shouldn't subscribe to love if it's not unconditional, and I don't think that it doesn't take any time to love somebody. Like, I think you pretty much can get the gist of somebody's soul in however little time or more, like, however little time or however long it takes. Like, love is like eternal, you know what I'm saying? And always, so.
Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
Telling people fuck ISIS at shows.
I saw that video. It's so cool. Everyone was going crazy with that.
Like, I love that shit. I loved it. Like, I could walk into a room and say whatever the fuck I want and get people to repeat that shit. But honestly, I want to be
Oh my gosh.
remembered for that's a question to really think about. And I should have already thought about it, right? But I just want to be remembered, you know what I'm saying, as being somebody who was a positive force in the world. Like, who brought, you know what I'm saying, emotion and feeling to other people and inspired people. I want to be remembered for inspiring somebody to do something.
Yeah.
But not, you know what I'm saying, like, I guess that sounds weird because, like, everybody can't be remembered for inspiring, but I would rather inspire people and them remember me than be remembered for anything specific.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
No doubt. Thank you.
Bye, guys.